guys, how's it going? In this video I'm going to take you back to work with me at the body shop, and because things are moving along pretty quick on the 55 Chevy. So yeah, I'm just going to bring you up to speed on what's going on with that. This video will probably be a bit shorter than my usual videos, but there'll be some cool stuff in there. The boss has come up with a way of checking to see how straight your car is before we actually paint it. So that's pretty neat, and it works well. Believe me, it's very cool. So we'll show you that. And yeah, I've just been sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding and some sanding. So but it's really close to being ready to go to the booth for paint. So yeah, when I get to work, I'll bring you up to speed on what's going on. So there you go. Okay, so here I am at work. In the previous video on the 55, the car itself was ready to go into the booth for black primer, and that's what it's been covered in. The gray that you see on there is just a guide coat. So I started blocking on this thing for the final time, and there, that's what you want. I'll show you. You hose this down here. So look at that. So I want the whole car to be looking like that when I'm done blocking. So you can see the reflection, and there's water, there's ripples in the water from hosing it down, but you can see the reflection is unbelievable. So this thing is going to be super tight and super right, man. Yeah, so I'm just going to carry on blocking on this thing. I'm not going to bother showing it. You've seen me do it before. I'm using a few different blocks, using this great big long 3-footer. I got smaller ones when I get into a curved area. This kind of curves in and curves downward at the top. Where there's a roll up, I'm using these round ones. So there's different blocks you're going to use, but yeah, she's really coming out nice. I mean, man, sweet. So, and my boss also, he built this little contraption here. It's a light. You plug it in, and now I'll show you. Got a minute? So it's going to be a lot better to look at it with the door closed. Less light. Okay, so I'll just show you the trunk lid just for these pieces here are all ready for paint. So now it's a little ripply. Maybe I should wipe it. Yeah. Oh, that just dried it up. Yeah. Let me try something different here. Maybe I'll get the tripod, put the camera up. Right, so I move the light closer to the door. This should work better. Now you see how straight those lines are? If there was any kind of deviation here, or ripple or whatever, one of these lines, there'd be a little jog in the line up or down. But man, like, it's super straight. So we're checking every panel with this light, and it shows us a lot, so pretty cool. And this thing can move this way and that, so you see how the curve is uniform and all the lines do the same thing. It's a neat little setup. So anyway, that's how that works. Cool. All right, so this is the last big piece I've got left. It's the hood, and it's in the black primer with the gray guide coat. The other side I haven't touched yet. So I just a couple of passes on this, and you can see What I'm talking about with the low spots. Low spots stay gray, high spots come out black right away. What you want to get it to is all black like this, nice and smooth and straight. So that's how the rest of the car is. So the car is done. It's ready to go in the booth. There's a couple of spots to spot prime, but for all intents and purposes, it's ready for the paint booth, ready to spray. So I'll give it a shot here. Now look at that reflection, man. You know, this thing is gonna be sweet. So yeah, there you go. And the whole car is like that. That's just primer, unreal. So there you go. Ready for the booth. The way we're gonna do this, we're gonna do the roof first on its own, base clear in the silver, and then we'll mask it off because you know the roof is separated from the rest of the car by the 4 pillars that have stainless and chrome and all that kind of stuff. So once we do the roof base clear, we can mask it off, and we can go after the rest of the car. We're going to jack it up in the air so it's easier to get, you know, down below and underneath and all that. And yeah, so probably get the roof painted tonight, I would think. The jams and everything else are ready to go. Yeah, we're golden, man. So there you go. So I'm going to finish up the hood. Hopefully there's nothing too nasty there. I did notice a couple of little dings, but they look like minor repairs. Anyhow, there we go. Okay, so the hood's not quite ready for prime time. We use 2 different kinds of high build primer. One is a really heavy duty build, and we didn't use that on the hood. Probably should have. Now we're going to have to. These are low spots, and we hit bare metal here, which is a high spot. So as soon as you hit bare metal, you stop. Same as here, here, here. So that's a low spot. So we're gonna have to hit it with the super high build primer. And then here there was a dent coming outwards. So I tapped it down with a body hammer, thin skim. I'll sand that out and it should be good. So once we hit it with the primer, I'll have to block this thing again. I've done the whole thing with 320. As soon as I hit bare metal that quick and seen how kind of wavy and ugly it is, I switched up to 320 and did the whole hood with that. So the front is pretty good, but there's also a spot here. It's bare metal and a low spot right beside it. So yeah, we're gonna have to give it a good heavy shot of primer to fill all that in, level everything off, and sand it out. And then over there, well, we've been running the light on every panel on the car, and it's mint. Really nice. So like I said, he's got a couple of spots to spot prime. I'll sand them out, and this thing's going in the booth for paint. So there you go. All right, so I'm back home now, off work, obviously, and having myself a nice ice cold pop. Because I'm telling you, man, the humidity today was unbelievable. Soaking wet all day. But yeah, got lots done. It was a good day. Got after all the little pieces, all the little touch-ups. The hood is ready for another shot of heavy-duty primer. So tomorrow I'll have that, be able to block it out, and it'll be done. The doors have been checked, they're mint. The trunk lid is mint, and the 2 front fenders, I took care of any of the little touch-ups. A couple of spots to just spot prime, sand them out in the morning. And there's 2 spots on the car that need to be spot primed. So he's doing that. He was getting ready to do it as I left work. So tomorrow morning, quick sand those 2 spots, and we're rolling it into the booth. We're going to paint the roof and the dash so that we don't have to, you know, nothing bad happens when we go inside the car to paint the dash, whatever. The dash will already be done and masked off, so will the roof. So it just reduces the chance of anything, you know, your foot touching the quarter panel or the hose or whatever, trying to get inside and on top and whatever. So it just makes sense. You know, in the previous video in the 55, one viewer wrote in that I was doing it all wrong. I was block sanding wrong. I guess it was the camera angle or whatever. It may have looked like I was just going straight up and down. I've done about 10 videos on block sanding, and you know, the first car I ever block sanded, I was 14 years old with my dad, and I'm 63 now. So I've been sanding shit for 49 years. So I think I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. And when I'm blocking, I'm always in an X pattern. So it's this way, and then switch over and come back the other way. X pattern. Boom, 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 boom. So not up and down, because you'll end up with waves like that. And not side to side either. You'll end up with waves like this. So that's why you do it at an angle like that and in an X pattern. So you keep it nice and straight. It makes everything good. But anyway, and I'm blocking with 600 grit. So it's a bit slow going, but it does a nice job, and it's paint ready now. So I'm anxious to see color on this thing, and so are a lot of other people. You know, the local guys in the car club and stuff. They know the car, and there's a lot of people waiting to see how this turns out, because really there's nobody else in town doing this old stuff. There was a shop. It closed up last year. The guy retired and had enough of it. And yeah, he just has a little museum now with his cars. And so, you know, there's nobody else. The big shops won't touch these old cars. They just won't. Body shops run differently now. You know, if you smash a fender or a door, well, they just buy new ones, put them on, paint them, put them on, and done. You know, rust repair and stuff like that. Body shops don't do that stuff anymore. So we're the only game in town, as far as I know, as far as a regular shop with a good booth and all that stuff. So I think that's why there's a lot of guys waiting to see how this thing turns out. I think this is going to be a car that can really get him a lot of work. And if he gets a lot of work, I have a lot of work. Everybody's happy. We're all making money, and everything's good. So that's what we want, right? Plus, there's a car show coming up this weekend, just around the corner from the shop. So hopefully we can get that thing painted and you know, put it out in the sun to bake, and a little bit of advertising, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, it's been fun doing this car. Like I said, it's moving along pretty quick. You know, for me to block sand that thing, I've been sanding for what, 3.5 weeks or something. But that's what it takes. Don't know what else to say. That's the name of the game, and that's how it goes. But that thing is freaking laser straight, man. It's going to be sweet, really sweet. So yeah, stick around to see that. I'll show you what it looks like. I misspoke in a previous video. I kind of thought I don't know, I just misunderstood the owner. I thought he was taking the whole thing home in pieces and putting it together himself. But no, we are assembling the car. At least all the main body panels, hood, fenders, doors, and all that, trunk lid. Making sure all the gaps and everything are back to where we had them. And then he's going to take the car out in one unit. So we'll get to see what the thing looks like. You know, we won't have the trim or anything on it, but we'll get to see what it looks like. And I can't wait. I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be a sweet looking car. So if you like the content, please subscribe. Tell your friends and your buddies, and help spread the word. Don't be shy. Leave comments down below. And yeah, if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.